It is. We are Coffee with the Summerland Kids. I'm Jericho Wagon. This is Aaron Riggs. We're just here drinking coffee. It's Monday morning. It is August 5th, and this is episode number 86. And today, the weather in Summerland is right now currently 63, very comfortable 63. The high today will be 82. I'm pretty sure mostly sunny. I forgot that part, but 82 is the high and 62 morning. I guess you can't go wrong for August in Santa Barbara.
It's always sunny in Summerland.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. No, that's what I say. I ran into an old friend of mine. I think his name was John. Yesterday, he hit me up on Instagram. He's got a cool business going in Santa Barbara where he's taking care of people's houses for them, like, doing maintenance and property management. I was pretty impressed by his by what he's got going, because it's like I've been feeling it. My mom has a house that she built for my grandma out here in Colorado. And home maintenance is really a big deal when you're a homeowner. And in Santa Barbara, it's kind of now known as a wealthy community. So I'm like, dude, John, smart move, bro. You're taking care of people's homes, their investments, essentially, in a real professional way, and helping them. He had a video of him installing a baby seat for a lady in Montecito. She's like, you do every in the car. Yeah. He's like, you do everything. She's like, thank you so much. So he's basically just like a sweet guy who's like down for like solid professionalism, affiliating himself with other companies that are very, very professional and good at what they do. So that way they can really deliver like first class service and kick ass and probably get like repeat clients and all that. So cheers to the business people that are really trying to do a darn good job. Yeah, exactly. And whether you're, it doesn't matter what you do, whether you're farming, owning a little small business, when you really try to care for people and do a good job. I mean, when I used to work for a small moving company in Los Angeles for a while, and we thrived on repeat clients. Even if it was a whole year later, they would call us back and we'd do their job again. And they were like happy to give us a good review. So, that's always kind of a good thing to try not to, there is people out there, and we had circumstances within our company where, I could see like the boss was trying something new with another affiliate company, and the affiliate company was more or less, unfortunately, sometimes crooked, like shysters. Like the long distance moving thing is a real kind of a sketchy business, actually, unfortunately, because people get quoted one price that gets them locked in, and then it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you have more stuff than we realized, and the weight is this. So they get you on this whole weights and measures thing, and it's just a weird game, man. So we got out of that quickly and just kept with a mostly local moving. So that was just an interesting LA freaking job hustle side story. But yeah,
I guess back in the day, your reputation was a lot more, there's just, I guess, so many more people in the world today. It's easy to kind of rip people off and just find new people rather than relying on the return business and the repeat.
It's weird. Business. Yeah. It's odd.
You get that brand loyalty and stuff. It's almost like I get this Four Sisters coffee.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
I love the stuff, and I've switched over from any other brand basically, and always get the Four Sisters coffee.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, well, no, it's nice to find something you like or people you like. That's another thing, is like the personable people that make a difference and make people feel, because they're, a lot of times people are kind of stressed out, especially when they're moving, and then so when they feel like, okay, the moving day is finally here, the movers are here, all that rigmarole. And when you come in, everybody's wearing a company T-shirt, and everyone's, go, and you have a good lead man who's like talking with the customer, and you guys get started, and and then you can see the pressure just it leaves the body, so to speak, and they feel relieved that, oh God, I'm in good hands. And then especially when you get to the second location, do your drop off and all that stuff, and you don't break anything. Yeah,
Yeah, that's got to be a big part of the moving business,
Yeah, don't
I guess
break
there
it,
is
man.
insurance and stuff just in case stuff
Yeah,
happens, but
no, totally.
it's nicer not to have to worry about filing a claim or anything if
Yeah,
something's broken or
right.
back on the company or the mover or the driver or whatever.
Exactly.
Say, oh yeah, that's good, especially because some things are irreplaceable. Like if you had
Absolutely.
a heirloom piece or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Putting in the faith in the good hands of someone else, so that's what we often have to do, with just in life. We rely on sometimes faith and trust and all that in other people. And it's like, man, when you find someone good, you're going to tell your neighbor about it, or your new neighbor or your friend or so and so. So it is like you said, it's helpful to get those recommendations and do good business with good intentions and all that. But like we said, unfortunately, there's some people out there that they're just in a different headspace. Getting everybody on the same page, that's another thing. So anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, business is you got to be making money to be in business, but at the same time, at what point is making money more important than a person? And I guess that's a balancing act that a business has to be aware of and manage.
Right. And nowadays with the online thing, it is very. My mom got sucked in off the TV the other day, like to some getting a subscription for some skincare product, and then she decided once she got it, she looked at it, she's like, forget it. So these people that's a trend now. Subscriptions are a big trend, and those are challenges to sort of cut the ties with sometimes. They when I got on the phone with them, they wanted to give me a percentage off and da 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 da. So it's like they really more or less read a script, and their whole thing is to keep you locked in, ideally, and not have you leave as a customer. But that's just it's the old when I'm going through my grandpa Bill Woggin's archives, I'm finding a lot of advertising, and the advertising in the old days is super classic. I mean, it's they're targeting the housewife or the young man who wants to have fresh breath, or selling the cigarettes and how awesome the cigarettes are. And it's like,
oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's like, oh, your throat, no throat burn. Like it's all this pitch on it's more about like how good you feel and how relaxed you are and how cool you are, all that stuff. So it's kind of the same. It hasn't really changed very much, advertising, since the 40s, 50s, 60s. It's all, but it's the new realm of it,
Well, yeah, I mean that's what advertisers and sales kind of relies on is emotional, because a lot of times it's an impulse buy or an emotional trigger that makes someone buy something. And I'm selling this RV here, right? Cab over, and so I get a call from a guy who's interested in it or expressing some interest, and he's telling me all about how he's been in the industry for all these years, and it really is, an emotional purchase. These RVs, it's something people get emotional about, which causes the conversion, causes the sale. I'm feeling a certain way, and definitely, I could definitely say that my coffee is an emotional thing, because coffee does make me feel a certain way.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
A few months back or whatever, last month, when I gave it up for a few weeks, I was feeling a certain way too. I don't know how bad you are on the coffee, but I go in a couple days without it. If you ever had a caffeine headache, it's the worst. I'm back up to about 2 cups a day. I'm really enjoying the coffee. What I do, I got a little trick. I brew the coffee but then I got some of the cold Starbucks coffee. So I put a little
Okay.
splash of the Starbucks coffee as my creamer.
Oh, wow. Okay. There you go. That's smart.
Very
Wow. I like that. That's good. Um, yeah. So anyways, I'm getting ready for I mean, I'm going. I got the keys in my hand for Dad's storage unit, and I'm getting ready to, I don't know when it'll be. I'm going to try to like, because this is the, last days of the office, so to speak, but the show will go on. I think our goal right now is definitely reaching 100. It looks like this week, Friday's our show number 90. So we're edging in on 100. I think we're going to hit 100 this month. So that's kind of a big deal. So I'm hooked in. And
the century mark.
Yeah, the century mark. Exactly. So it's pretty classic to have done that many shows. And it's definitely good for me because it's got me back, I was doing, of course, everyone does laundry, but laundering the white shirts and I actually sold a couple ties over the weekend to a girl who saw my post, like a little sneak peek post on Instagram, or no, it's actually on Facebook. But so she saw a couple she liked, and I sent a couple off to Washington. So I've got a couple ties headed to Washington D.C. and so that's cool. So cheers
Very
to
cool.
Yeah. So it's coming to find out. I stopped by and talked to one of my friends. She has an antique store, and we were talking about eBay and whatnot. And she said, "Man, the shipping cost is crazy." So that's a factor. It's like, when you make something, or whether you're creating it or you're just selling something, a little collectible item or whatever. There's a little margin in there for to make a little bit of money. Of course, we're not trying to give it away. But when you go and ship it, you realize that the mailman / USPS or FedEx, they're in on the game too, because they're the ones who have to like carry that parcel across the country or wherever it's going. So that is a factor. It's like, okay, the 3 ties it was like $18 shipping. Maybe I got. I think the other day when I sent a T-shirt, I think it might have been 6 or 5 to, let's say 5 to 8 on a T-shirt to send a T-shirt to somebody. So that is what it is. I mean, it's just a part of their process. I mean, everybody's sending their packages. I mean, sure, it'd be wonderful if it was the old days and it was $2.50. But it's not that way anymore.
It is not that way. Gosh,
yeah.
The pulse, I mean, it's nice because you get your mail.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an expense. You gotta.
Yeah.
I know that when we shop on eBay, a lot of times it'll be like, wow, that's an incredible price. But then they charge shipping on top of it, where other people will include the free shipping and they'll have a little bit higher price. So you got to kind of check, is it price plus shipping or is it shipping included, because you may be saving money, but then like you're saying, an $18 shipping charge may make the difference of it being a higher price. But also I wanted to let you know, I do know some people down there where your dad's storage is.
Yeah, like Santa Maria Grover Beach. Yeah.
Willing to lend a hand, like if you need a helping
that's cool.
hand.
Okay.
I could try and help coordinate that.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently he's, my dad's 82. Like I was telling you earlier, he's like, I would say he's the condition of a 70-year-old. I mean, he did screw his arm up one time, but I don't really notice it. But, he's really good on his feet and all that. He did load the storage unit himself, which is pretty surprising. So for an 82-year-old person to like move boxes, load a storage unit themselves, I feel pretty confident that that I can pull it out.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I like traveling. The stuff that kind of like, I guess booking reservations and all that stuff's not my favorite thing. But once you're in the zone, you make your reservation, you just like cross your fingers, everything goes well, blah blah blah. I do enjoy traveling though. I like the train and I wouldn't mind flying, but flying standby. My cousin flies for American, and I did do the standby thing one time, and it felt like I was like trying to get there, trying to get to my destination, but I actually ended up flying to Santa Barbara instead of Los Angeles, just to actually get there. Because when you're flying standby, you're kind of like an alternate person, and sometimes there's other people in front of you, so it's a little, on the.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's nice to get the discount on the tickets or whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, for sure.
to rely on someone else canceling their trip so that you could get your seat.
Yeah, or like a flight where it's not fully booked or something, because coming out of our area in Durango, Colorado, it's a little airport, and the planes are a little smaller, so there's that factor. But once you get to Phoenix, then it's just the game changer in the plane size, and then you're also dealing with the masses, and it is still summertime. I think kids are starting maybe to go back to school. I'm not 100% sure how they work that, but summer's not over yet, man. So we're still in the travel season.
Yeah, that's interesting. The summer break thing. I guess back in the day, they did the summer break for school so that the kids could be home to help on the farm type thing. I guess nowadays it's just more of a break. Oh, let's take a break from school. I did have some friends growing up that went to year-round school. That's always an thought, but I always really enjoyed summer vacation. It was such a big deal, the last day of school for the year and summer vacation starts, and we got all these big plans and let's go run around. And especially when I got older and had my driver's license and a vehicle, let's go places, let's go to different places, let's get out and travel.
Exactly. Yeah, it does kind of give the family bonding time a chance to happen as well with folks with their kids, because ordinarily, I mean, kids can really get in their own world, and the parents, if they're working full-time jobs, I mean, how much time do they actually get to spend with their kids? I mean, of course, weekends, but the weekends are almost like a mini vacation. When we were kids, just having that time off from school on the weekend was like amazing, So.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes. The weekends. Remember that movie Weekend at Bernie's?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So much can happen over a weekend.
I know, right?
School. I don't know about you, but I used to cut a lot of classes at school.
Right.
I used to cut a lot.
Yeah, they gave us at one point at Santa Barbara High School when I was there. This is the 1980s, but they actually gave us like a certain amount of cuts that you could do freely. Like, okay, you can have 5 cuts. We're like, oh, cool. Like, so kind of like a free pass to cut class. So we definitely did that. And, but, then it does sort of chalk into your grade. I think I have nightmares or / dreams sometimes about like finishing or graduating or, that whole thing. It's a funny reoccurring dream. It's like the dream you have about forgetting your locker combination at junior high school or something. Have you ever had those?
Yeah, I've never had dreams like that. But, I have had days like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, dude. God. So you're frozen up right now, but we'll see. Maybe you'll get unfrozen.
Nah, we'll deal with it. It happens.
Yeah, we'll deal with it. It happens. This is streaming 101, like streaming 1.0, or even though we're probably on 8.0, but still. But thanks to Restream anyways for making it happen. We still got good audio and all that stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah, I know some of the streamers I watch, the Game of Risk.
Okay.
Some of these live streamers, they actually talk about how they have a wired connection. I don't know how antiquated having a wire is, but they definitely talk about how sometimes the lag on the wireless connection can cause trouble. So they actually take that extra effort to wire into the router.
Okay, interesting. And then you're up against, I mean, around here, it's almost like a running joke as far as it's not, I don't know how weather related it is, but because we're talking some sort of, because it's not a satellite signal and it's not like Wi-Fi. It's like the company, the provider. They're like it's one up here. They have a company called CenturyLink, and they're a local internet provider. So people just love to bag on them and how the internet's out in my area. And I'm not sure if it's construction related. I know one time I think our whole town went out because someone accidentally dug up a line between our city and the next city over or something. So,
Oh gosh.
yeah. So it's hilarious that we're still, I mean, right now I'm using a cell connection, which, you know, thanks to, what is it? T-Mobile with your network, you know, competing with Verizon. I want to say maybe they're equaled out at this point. I have no idea how that all works, but the towers, you know, when you're in a small town like we are, thankfully the town is sort of leveled out a little bit in terms of the coverage, but still, you know, just the other day I was on a call and, you know, it was like mixed bag on the connectivity, but whatever. I mean, frick, we're just fortunate to have the technology to make this happen. So.
Yeah, I guess what here in a couple weeks or a few weeks, you're going to be out of your office, and you're either going to have to come to town to the coffee shop or think about some kind
Yeah.
of internet at the house, some home internet.
Yeah. I'm just gonna basically just, you know, I'm gonna like right now I got two. It looks like almost like three bars, but you know, thankfully, like I said, T-Mobile's awesome, and I'm looking forward to going remote. I'm sad that I won't have Grandpa behind me, but still, I'll just be like, you know, interestingly remotely presenting, and you know, thanks to the little company who made our little tripods. So I'll probably like carry maybe you know, a method of like, I was just thinking about it right now, like two folding chairs, and then I'll set the tripod up on a folding chair in front of me or something. And you know, these tripods actually go fairly high, so it's just a matter of like winging the system to be presenting. And I found that, you know, using the you know, the plugging in with the little headphones is good for the audio. So it's all about good audio and a good connection. And then you're roaming like almost like a free range news reporter. So
Yeah, that's fun stuff. I was before we started doing the show here, you know, I was kind of looking for different things to stream about, you know, not just streaming a game online, but I would take my tablet and go stream.
yeah, I
Uh,
love that.
and that definitely is fun, you know, but you know, I've only got so much time in or energy or whatever in my day. And
Yeah,
so
no, that's right.
you know, it's like I like to do this. It's nice because we get out here in the morning. You know, I
Yeah,
guess for my time, I guess it's around 6:30 that we've
yeah,
been starting. So
yeah,
it's good that we're having a little coffee. It gives me a little chill time. You know, I'm not up, not quite awake yet, so I get some coffee. I get some conversation. Get the day
yeah,
started right. It's always a pleasure. You know, positive attitude and
exactly. No,
you know,
totally.
good upbeat. Whole. We had a comment on one of our things. You know, wholesome conversation. We're not talking all this drama and you know whatever world politics, world wars, or you know
Yeah,
economic crisis. We're just me and you chilling, having just you know chill conversations.
yeah, and seeing where it goes. You know, it's like, you know, we never know where the conversation's going to go, and it's finding the coincidences that spark the conversation. Like, I think because this is episode 86. In 1986, we were in. I think I was maybe that first year of high school. You might have been finishing your last year at junior high.
I think
So,
86. Yeah, I think I was in high school, either freshman or sophomore,
yeah.
maybe.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So those were for us such amazing times because it like so much was happening. At least it felt like it was. I mean, in terms of music, like I just feel like there was more. I mean, I know there's more now than ever, but it's almost like more choices doesn't mean better stuff, I guess. Because the music back then, we were just getting it on the radio. And then, of course, we had MTV at that point. But it was a limited, our choices were somewhat limited. I mean, did you guys get LA radio stations up north in where you were, or no?
No,
Not
there
so much?
was 3 or 4 radio stations up in the Central Coast.
Okay.
Occasionally, some parts of the county, I would get like Santa Barbara stations.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I always remember road trips, because I have my presets on my radio in my car. I'm not a big CD or tape cassette listener. I always listen to radio. I still do. So I'd always preset, for the stations that I enjoyed locally. But then on a road trip, as you get out of range of your local broadcast, you'd have to find a new station.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was for a while there, when I was doing my vending machine routes, I had a second preset.
Oh, cool.
I got one preset too, so I would always switch over to that second preset once I got out of range of my San Luis Obispo County stuff. I always enjoyed the pirate radio in Santa Barbara, and there's a couple stations that I listened to in LA. But one thing I did enjoy is Bob Radio. So Bob Radio, he plays this really, just classic old rock, I guess my generation type stuff. But he's everywhere. He's actually up here. So I actually listen to Bob Radio up here now. That's my number one preset for Bob Radio.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. I remember in LA, there was, of course, KLOS, and KLOS is still going. And then there was KMET, which when we were kids, they were super like rock and roll stations. And then there was a cool show, Dr. Demento. Dr. Demento did a fun show, like kind of whimsical, funny, almost comedy, obscure music. And I think there was a guy in Santa Barbara too. I don't know if I can recall his name, who did a cool show on, it was kind of a night show, but it was just super different than the normal programming. So shout out to the DJs out there that provide unusual programming to stations, and also you got to hand to the people that run the stations to allow for crazy, weird stuff to happen. I think there's probably a college radio station up where you're at, or like Chico, I know is a college town, right?
Yeah. Chico is a college town, and there's always, the college radio. I remember Dr. Demento,
Yeah, totally.
Of course, my sister was a little bit older, so she'd always turn me on to the different things. And
I
remember her listening to the Dr. Demento.
Yeah.
She was a little bit more into music than I was. And so she had her radio, her tape cassette, and would make the mixtapes, sit there by the radio and wait for your song to come on and then record it.
Yeah.
A lot different nowadays, with YouTube and Spotify, and you can just, type in whatever you want and listen to it.
I know, right?
I'll get, you ever get one of them earworms where you got the sound in your head, and
for sure,
one verse, and it's so cool, because we'll do that and we'll just type in the little few words, of the song, and then boom, we got the song and we can listen to it, get that earworm out of our head.
Yeah, exactly. And it's amazing now how, to me, like the development of the music video thing, and this was a long time ago, but how integrated, and then how that opened up a whole nother realm, because it wasn't just, you can do simple and just film a person on stage, and that's entertaining unto itself. But when you add visual elements to the mix, it really kind of brings a whole nother level of storytelling to the video. I remember, of course, Billy Idol with White Wedding and Rebel Yell, and of course Michael Jackson Beat It, and all those cool videos were just so amazing, because it really kind of, when you have a good cinematographer / director, vision for the video, and then you have it synced up with the artist who's super in tune and has like Michael Jackson, for example, a natural showmanship and a cool dance routine. It really just makes it over the top. So all of a sudden the kids are all, I remember when breakdancing kind of hit the scene and everyone was breakdancing at junior high.
Yeah, I got into that mode for a little bit, got the break
Yeah,
here, had a couple moves, popping in the wave and spinning around on
right.
the. If you ever watch some of the stuff now, you're like, wow. Like the
Totally.
robot used to be, kind of robot. And now it's like you look at people and I'm literally like amazed. I was like, is that a real person? Is that an animatronic? But
Right. And I guess there's breakdancing hit the Olympics. I guess I haven't seen that myself, but I heard something about it. So that's shout out to the breakdancers. I actually brought them back in 1998, which was like it was almost like 10 years prior to that. That's even more than that. So it's kind of like I did like a retro tribute to them. And I had a few breakdancers come to a party and do a little show and to show them and respect them. So yeah, man, we just did another show, rock and roll.
super cool, man.
All right, man. Have a great afternoon.
We'll see you tomorrow. You
Sounds
have an
good.
awesome day. The rest of the day,
Yeah.
get all your stuff done.
Exactly.